Hello everyone, and the inevitable finally happened. We are of course talking about Wildstar is going free to play. Yes, Wildstar, remember that game? I quite liked it, to be honest. I liked Wildstar, but it is finally giving up the required subscription. I'm surprised it's going free to play. I know it was kind of struggling. You know, I'd heard sort of things from Wildstar players that the game was really struggling to maintain a subscriber base, but yeah, free to play, it's the way of all things, all MMOs. Of course, joining Elder Scrolls Online, which is not free to play, in dropping the sub, we'll point out. A lot of people keep saying that, oh, Elder Scrolls Online is free to play. It's not free to play, okay? It's not, it's buy to play. You still have to buy the game in order to get it. Wildstar is going to be free to play, and what are you getting for free? You're getting quite a lot, actually. You're getting access to all current content, they've said. That's all dungeons, raids, all the PvP content as well. That's pretty impressive, because there was quite a lot of content in Wildstar, and the leveling content was okay. It was a bit kind of samey, if you ask me. I got a bit bored of it, to be honest with you. The dungeon content apparently was really tough. I don't know if it still is, but I mean, my experience of it wasn't that positive. Most people just quit after one wipe. I mean, that was the problem. They marketed it as this hardcore MMO, like, that was sort of harkening back to the good old days, put that in inverted commas, where everything was tough and hard, and after one wipe everyone quit. See, that just doesn't work anymore. I think that was one of the problems with it, is that kind of attitude just doesn't work. People don't want to be wiping on the first dungeon boss. People want instant gratification these days, and you know, it's what they want. One wipe and I'm out kind of guy. That's the kind of attitude of the player base these days. That's the modern way. We have to deal with that, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, Wildstar was alright. It was alright. It was pretty cool. Spell Slinger was awesome. Love playing a Spell Slinger. Basically, it's kind of similar to a not a gunslinger, a mercenary in SWTOR, if you're wondering. Particularly now, a 3.0 merc that can move and channel at the same time. It's fairly similar to that. So hopefully we'll have some footage of Wildstar, but it finally happened. So what are we getting? What is the difference between a free-to-play and preferred account? Of course, there's the usual character slot restrictions. There's, you know, you get more XP. You get 25% more XP. You get extra rep. 25. It's like 25% extra rep. Your your rested XP, should we say, is double that of a what it is. You know, just the usual things. You get priority access to the servers. You can create guilds. You can be invited to a guild. It says here you cannot invite or create a guild, but you can join a guild at least. And there's no game content that is going to be used. So there's two types of accounts. There's going to be free and signature. Signature is just a subscriber, basically. And what they're adding, the interesting thing is what they're adding for existing players. So what you're going to get if you purchased a boxed copy of the game, which I did. My account's inactive, and so we'll get 12 character slots instead of 2. We'll get 6 costume slots, we get 5 bank slots instead of 2, and we get 2,000 decor items that we can place. I guess that's for the housing in the game, and free to players get 1,000. So we're getting a lot of character slots. So I mean, there were 2 factions in Exile. There was the Exiles, and I can't remember what the other faction was. Can't remember. The Exiles were like, the game was like Fern Gully, the last rainforest. It was kind of like that. They were kind of nature loving, the Exiles. I can't remember, what was the other one? Was it the Empire or something like that? I can't remember. I think it was the Empire. I'm not sure what the other one was. The other one was like sort of space fascists, if you will. We'll use that term, space fascists. I like that. I always use that term in SWTOR when describing the Empire. What is the Empire like? We're a bunch of space fascists. You know, we hate aliens and things like that. So yeah, you had your choice of 2 factions. If you're a free player, you could at least try 2 different factions at least. I haven't played it for a while. I bought the game at launch, so I do have a box copy, so at least I'll get 12 characters. Probably go and check it out again. I was just thinking about Wildstar lately. I was thinking, maybe I should check it out again. You know, maybe I should. And then today you get the free-to-play. So it's not coming right away. It's not coming till autumn, they've said. But I did get an email with a link to the free-to-play account. And they've not said when it's going to come. It is going to transition to free-to-play, but apparently it is the autumn. They haven't had an exact window. Yeah, the game is really going to be free. Is it really free? Is one of the questions. They got a little sheep thing there, which I liked. That was always the character creator thing. There's a little sheep there. So yeah, you can still buy game time using cred as well. So you know, if you want to be a signature subscriber, signature player, then you can do that as well. So again, you are going to get loyalty points based on how long you subscribed, and you're going to get a bunch of free things, as they usually do. Most MMOs that go free to play give you some free things. You're getting a free mount, you're getting some decor items, you get a Nexus Loyalist title as well. I don't know if I'll get that, to be honest. I only subbed for 2 months. I bought the game for a month, had the 30 days that came with the box, and I had 2 months of sub time on my account, so don't know what I'll get really. So it depends on, I don't know, I might go back to it, I might take a look at it in June maybe. So I was gonna check out some other MMOs throughout the month of June, and you know, we'll maybe check it out. I have to re-download it obviously. So well, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing for Wildstar going free to play? I think time will tell. The free to play model, from the looks of it, doesn't look too restrictive. Actually looks pretty good. The fact they're giving you access to all current, the keyword is current. I imagine expansion content and things like that they'll probably charge you for, similar to the way Lotro works, where if you want to get an expansion in Lord of the Rings, you have two choices. You can either subscribe to the game and get all the expansions, or you can buy the expansion for the game. I think SWTOR, of course, has you, if you want the expansions, you have to be a subscriber. Well, you don't have to be a subscriber. You get a discount on the expansion if you're a subscriber, but you have to buy the expansion as a subscriber, of course, because EA. That's all we'll say about that. EA, really. We'll have to go and dig out some Wildstar footage. It's going to be from beta, so don't. If you say this footage is well out of date, yeah, the footage we have is all from beta. So I played in beta, I played at launch, but never really got into it. Really, I just couldn't get into it. Really, I guess the leveling speed was too slow for me. I just felt it was a bit too grindy on the old leveling. But I did enjoy quite a few of the elements. I liked the kind of goofy tone that was in it. It was quite cool, actually. And you know, it was, some of the classes were interesting. I liked the warrior, that was a cool class. The spellslinger, it's awesome. Spellslinger, which could be a healer as well, so it was kind of like a mercenary in SWTOR. But again, we'll need to get some Wildstar. The Wildstar footage will be from beta. I'm just warning you now. Before you say, oh, your Wildstar footage is way out of date, and we might not even have enough, or depending on the length of this video. So anyway, be interesting to see. And the other interesting point is that I guess Final Fantasy 14 is like the only pure sub MMO left on the market. A lot of people will say World of Warcraft, but the WoW token allows you to buy game time for gold, so you could argue it's sort of maybe free to play. Interesting point, actually, that how long will Final Fantasy 14 last? According to a lot of people that I've spoken to, it's quite healthy, actually, and doing quite well. I always miss that game. It's sitting on my desktop. I've never uninstalled it. I'm sitting looking at my desktop, and I see it there, and I'm sitting there going, should I resub to FF14? It is a very good game, no doubt about it. It is a very cool game. But yeah, it's always tempting. So that is like the only real pure sub MMO left. Really, I mean, Wildstar, technically you could buy game time for cred. EVE Online, you can buy game time for in-game currency as well. So I guess maybe it is the only one that's going to survive. Interesting to see what happens with that next, because that's the next kind of pillar to fall, shall we say. We had ESO earlier in the year, and now we've got Wildstar. I think it was always a matter of time. It was always going to be a matter of time. It seems to be the standard time. a year after launch. SWTOR was the same, about a year after it launched. It was kind of close to about a year when it went free to play. Lord of the Rings lasted a bit longer. It went free to play. It went free to play quite a while ago. Lotro. I never really tried Lotro. I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings. Don't ask me about Lord of the Rings. Just don't ever ask me, because I'll go on a big rant about it and how it's bullshit. So yeah, not the MMO, the whole entire motion picture trilogy, or the books, we could argue as well. The whole story of the whole lore of Lord of the Rings. We're getting off on a sidetrack. We'll end this video before we start a rant. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon, and goodbye.